And I am recording, right? Awesome. Happy Sunday, everybody. So I need to do a little penance from last week's video on tequila shooters. Well, you know what we gotta do. Grinch shots.
Oh, you planned this.
I did not plan this.
What is it though?
This is tequila and rum.
Both together?
Yeah. You're not driving anywhere tonight, right?
No.
Now, as fun as that was to shoot, we're moving on with the rest of the college episode. I know, it feels like we've been in the college episode forever. There's a lot going on here. It's almost like it's a story to itself. We've been bouncing back and forth between what's going on with Tony and Meadow and what's going on with Carmela and Father Phil. And, you know, Father Phil, he's really not the best of priests. Earlier in the episode, Carmela kind of realizes he's full of it. He doesn't really know what's going on. But he does have a good suggestion.
I think you should take communion.
Now, I have what I like to jokingly say, a Roman Protestant. My godmother doesn't like it when I say that. But I, Anthony, am actually named after St. Anthony of Padua, who, fun piece of trivia, is the patron saint of communion. And in my own church, I'm kind of sort of in charge of communion, which bugs my friend Cameron because I'm always asking him to help me with it.
Yeah.
Shout out to my beloved Rivoli family. I'm drinking San Antonio wine, which is not kosher, but is delicious, and it has my name on it, San Antonio, and it is named after St. Anthony of Padua, like me. A lot of people don't realize, especially Americans, you might want to sit down for this because I'm about to blow some of your brains. Jesus was Jewish. A lot of people don't realize that. So where we in Christendom get communion is actually the Jewish Passover. Now, for those of you who don't have a memory, Passover is that one time when Charlton Heston went up to Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh said, "No, Mr. Heston, you can't do it." And then 10 plagues happened, and then finally Pharaoh was like, "You know what, on second thought, get your crap and go." Moses says, "Guys, we got the green light, but we gotta leave right now." Now, every good Jewish mother wants to feed you. They always think about food, and oh, well, we gotta have food. And Moses is like, "What part of we have to leave right now didn't you get?" And every Jewish mother in the camp was like, "We're gonna have food." So he said, "Okay, but make it fast, okay?" So they literally made it fast. They didn't have enough time to let the yeast do its thing. Bread couldn't rise. And so we got matzah bread. Matzah bread is probably one of the easiest things ever to make. But you have to make it in 18 minutes or less because otherwise natural yeast that's in the air can attach to it, and then bread is corrupted, it's no longer kosher. Kosher laws get us a whole rabbit trail that I'm no specialist in. I would like to use this time as a waiver that this is not a kosher kitchen. You've seen me cook pork here many a time, so this isn't truly authentic 100% kosher matzah, but I will say I am using kosher flour, and the way you can tell, there's a little circle U here. That means it's so kosher and pure you can use it for Passover. You might also notice there are 4 wine glasses in front of me. No, it's not because I plan on drinking all 4 at once. It's actually because in the true Passover meal, there are 4 wine glasses, and each one represents a different promise God made to the Israelites via Moses, aka Charlton Heston. So, hands have been washed, flour is kosher, water is kosher. Some people make a big deal about using bottled water that happens to have the kosher symbol on it. If you want to go to that extent, more power to you. All right. Hey Google, set a timer for 18 minutes.
All right, 18 minutes, and that's starting now.
I spilled some water, okay. And it's seriously just water and flour. That was 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of water, by the way, for those wondering what the ratio was. And every baker knows you always have flour on standby. I am making this in the presence of my Tuesday night Bible study group because, well, who better to make matzah with, right? Actually, the answer of who better to make matzah with would have been my adopted Jewish family. Shout out to the Sloans. I miss you all now that you've all moved away from me. Amber, what's my clock?
16 minutes and 3 seconds.
Okay. Oh, I still have flour on me. And of course, flour for the rolling pin. Chopping this up into 12 pieces. I could be all biblical and say that it's one for each tribe. It might be, that's just what the recipe said to do.
You're at 15:45 now.
Oh no! I pre-parchmented 3 baking sheets. Now let's see if this will roll for me or not. More flour.
Corrupted. God's gonna kill us now.
Smite.
Mike.
We're about to get smote.
Smoked.
Smoted. That's like the mega one. This is like the Judah bread. The rolling pin needs more flour. The rolling pin has chosen the side of Satan.
11 minutes.
11 minutes. Oh, crap. Well, here's one. We're going to be a couple tribes short. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right, that's going to be as ugly as Benjamin. Oh, and split in two like Benjamin. This should have been easy. Oh, flour, water. Get it in there in 18 minutes, no problem. Problems everywhere. Cameron is every comedian's dream audience member. I don't even have to say anything really that funny. I just have to struggle a little bit in life, and he's just over there bursting up. You can put these matzahs right up next to each other because they're not going to expand. So it's not like cookies where you have to have like a 2-inch radius and all this stuff.
8 minutes.
As long as I have 3 minutes for them to cook, we're good. Oh, by the way, the oven should be preheated at 475. Pharaoh's on the way. Get this in the oven.
Boy, is he packed.
Boy, is he. That whole killing his son thing, that was apparently one too far. I feel the sweat, just like the Hebrews felt the sweat on their brow from building the pyramids. See how I threw that in there?
Dramatic.
Okay, maybe they sweat a bit more.
A little dramatic.
5:30.
Why did I not get my tortilla maker out? So pro bakers do multiple batches in the 18 minutes. And actually, if we count that over here, that's one for each tribe. Mazel tov! And now they bake for the rest of the 345. And any dough that was left, garbage. The natural yeast that's floating through the air, waiting to sin and corrupt the matzah, would have hit within the 18 minutes. Now I use this 345 to clean up and get rid of all this potential for evil yeast to enter this area. The rest of the timer for the 18 minutes ran out. And my hand never fits in there. I don't know why I keep trying. I'm actually gonna leave them in for another minute. They're cooked, but they're not crispy. They're also not very thin because I can't roll to save my life. A temple's worth.
You're gonna eat an ephah.
Maybe I am. All right, another.
Yeah, ephod was like a robe.
That is what you wear.
All right, all right.
I thought the same thing.
My small group's correcting my biblical measurements here. I said I was gonna leave it in for another minute. I actually left it for 1:16 after one of my favorite verses in Romans, for I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. That one poofed. But the rest look crispy-fied. So I don't have that nice crispiness. Actually, I have the consistency of a really fat tortilla, and actually the taste of a really fat tortilla. This is as kosher as I could get it. And this is the use that we in Christendom have for a matzah. We take the matzah, divide it up. I'm walking off camera.
I feel like in a church.
And in a way you are, Cameron, for wherever two or more are gathered in his name, so is he. In quoting the Gospel of Matthew 26:26. And when they were together, they took some bread, and after giving a blessing, he parted it, saying, this is my body. And in the Catholic sense,
Lord, I am not worthy to receive thee, but just say the word,
and I will be healed.
and then taking a cup, giving thanks, blessed it, sharing it with everyone, saying, take this, drink it, all of you. This is my blood, which is shed for many. Let's say that you're getting ahead of me, Cameron. Let's say you are one of the many New Yorkers, like the brilliant genius director, Jon Favreau. I really want him on this show, so if it sounds like I'm kissing his ass, I kind of am. Please, John, we can have a lot of fun. A chef, Cooking with the Sopranos crossover. You were even in the Sopranos. It'll be great, okay? Anyways, but let's say you're like Jon Favreau, and you're half Jewish, half Italian. Well, as long as all the ingredients that you have are kosher, you can pretty much do whatever you want with a matzah. In fact, you can have Margherita Matzahs. So the Margherita pizza was the first pizza made, and it was so named after Princess Margherita, aka Margaret, the inventor of the pizza in somebody's gonna write an angry comment, 18 whatever, in Napoli, presented, are you fact checking it for me? No? Oh, okay. Presented two versions of the pizza to Princess Margherita and whoever her guy was, I forgot his name. He's not important in the story. And she said, I like this one better because it displays the Italian flag colors. So Margherita pizza is just mozzarella cheese, the tomato, usually in the sauce, but I'm kind of just doing a flatbread type of thing. So I'm just using diced tomatoes. By the way, for the big history buffs, I did end up having one matzah for each tribe. And I'm just gonna cover it in basil. Choose your pronunciation. Don't force me which one. Basil, that's a little too Frenchy, I feel. I'm just gonna toss those in until the cheese melts. If you ever want a good read the Book of Judges. You got stuff like, yeah, it's horrible. But you get some great stuff like Deborah putting a tent stake through some evil general's head. Awesome stuff. Real feministy stuff. All right. So, Amber, I need another close-up.
Dang.
Margherita Matzahs. Off camera, Margaret asked a really great question. What is the recipe for the flour? Those of you who are here know it's just flour and water. What I didn't emphasize the first time, which my adopted Jewish mother, Mama Jackie, really emphasized when I was on the phone with her earlier, you don't add any other ingredient. You don't even add salt to the mixing stage. So then Margaret asked, well, if you don't add anything, does that make these Margherita Matzahs blasphemy or heresy? And the answer is no, because the matzah's already done. In fact, what Mama Jackie was telling me is that she eats similar things to this for Passover, because during the week of Passover you can't have any leaven. So the Jewish people are having nothing but matzah. Matzah ball soup, matzah this, matzah that. It kind of starts to sound like Bubba in Forrest Gump when he's like shrimp gumbo, shrimp fries, shrimp this. It's like matzah this, matzah that, matzah this, matzah this. And so, anyways, making a Margherita Matzah during Passover is not only perfectly acceptable, it's highly encouraged because you could run out of ways to eat matzah after day 2. So, let's see how mine turned out. When you guys grab yours, if you want to do a spritz of olive oil, ooh, I can do a spritz of olive oil.
Yeah.
Could matzah be a type of manna?
No.
Okay.
But excellent question. And I'm going to taco fold in a little bit, so I'm mixing up all my cultures into this. Oh, that's so good. Okay. Hopefully this gave you some great ideas to study Judaism, study Christianity, or just study different cultures' foods. That would be awesome too. Hit me up on all my social medias. You know, all the hate mail and everything and all the angry comments. You mispronounced everything. I know, I'm sure of it, whatever. But we're gonna go ahead and eat the rest of this and have the rest of the wine. I'm gonna keep sweating because this oven is just boiling hot in this kitchen. And until next week, manja.